This is the #1 career killer in voiceover. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Voiceover Blueprint YouTube channel. My name is Mike Hathcote. I'm a full-time voice actor. Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that kills lots of voiceover dreams and careers before they even get started. Now, I get that that is a bold statement, and I'm going to back it up here in a second, but after coaching probably thousands of people at this point on voiceover and looking at all of the mistakes that a lot of new voice actors make, including my own mistakes when I was first starting, I have realized that this is the #1 killer of voiceover careers, and that's what we're going to discuss today. So after watching people get burnt out, get, stuck and plateau and, all the things that go into really just crushing your voiceover dreams, I can tell you without hesitation that there is one specific thing that is responsible for killing more dreams than anything else. And no, it's not AI. It's not having the wrong equipment. It's not sounding like a pro yet. The real killer of dreams in voiceover seems innocent, but it even sometimes seems logical at first glance. But the big killer is this, and that is direct marketing a DIY demo. So by the end of this video, I'm going to break down why shopping a DIY demo around is a bad idea, even though it seems like maybe the first logical thing that you should do at first glance. But it is the one thing that will quietly derail your entire, promising voiceover future. Now, there is a trap that a lot of people fall into right at the very beginning of their career. They hear a lot of advice about, you should just get started, start now. And I've said the same thing. Yes, you should start as soon as possible. But there are smart ways to start and not so smart ways to start. Most beginners, when they first start, they hear all this advice that says, in order to get work, you need to have a demo. And that is very true. In order to get work, you do need to have a demo as a general rule. There are a few ways that you can get some work if you don't quite have a demo yet, but that's another video. But right now, a lot of people think that, well, the only way for me to get out there and get work is get a demo. And while that can be true, it can be a trap. So the first thing they do is they sit down and they try to put together a DIY demo, which I do encourage you do, because the more of those reps that you put in of recording and editing, the better you're going to get at it. So there is something to be said about, doing a DIY demo. And most people, when they're first starting out, they don't have the money to get a professional demo. So a DIY demo is kind of their only option. But here's the rub. What happens after that, once you have your demo, is when a lot of people think, okay, now I've got a demo, I can just start reaching out to production houses and agencies and start shopping it around. And this trap is because it feels productive. It feels like you're doing something. It feels, smart, and it feels like progress. You're out there kind of trying to move the chains and move on down the field, to use a football analogy. But this is where people completely go off the rails. Whether you're getting coaching initially or not, a DIY demo is good for practice. It's good to kind of show incremental improvements in your skill set, because a lot of people will redo their DIY demo on a regular basis, which is also a good idea so that you can kind of track your progress. But never, ever, ever, ever start sending that DIY demo out to producers or anyone else out there who would potentially hire you. Where the trap is that you feel like you're getting yourself out there, and you definitely are. You're getting yourself out there, but what version of yourself are you getting out there? Are you getting out the beginner you, or are you getting out the professional you? Obviously, the goal is to get out the professional you. But what happens if you send out this DIY demo too early and you start sending out, mass marketing to all the content creators? Then you are permanently labeling yourself as a beginner, because that's what the DIY demo shows. So the problem isn't the DIY demo itself. The problem is where you send it. Because let me be clear, a DIY demo is not evil. It's not wrong. It's not even useless. It actually is very useful for practice, for Like I said, looking at your development over time and even using it for some of the smaller stakes jobs on some of the freelance platforms that you've heard me talk about on here. But when it comes to getting professional level work, a DIY demo just flat will not cut it. So the career killing mistake is taking that DIY demo and sending it out en masse to production houses, agencies, casting directors, voiceover agencies, anyone who books serious voiceover talent. If you're sending out a DIY demo to those people, what ends up happening is they mentally put you in a box. And that box is labeled not ready or amateur, not maybe later, not come back when you have more experience, just flat out not ready, which means you're probably going to go in the trash. And unfortunately, most people who put you in that box are not going to open that box back up. And that's not because they're mean. It's not because they don't care. It's because their inbox is so full and they got stuff to do. They've got much more qualified candidates that they should hire for that particular job than someone who is just learning, and the demo pretty much shows them that they're just learning. Remember the old adage, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And as soon as you send a marketing email, that's your one chance to make that first impression. So if you're not sending them your best, you're sending them, a DIY demo, one that showcases maybe just a little bit of your talent, but not the full picture of what you could do for them, then that chance is done. So what happens is you send out this demo and it kind of creates a chain reaction and it compounds on itself. So you send the demo out, you hear nothing back, obviously. You wait, you start to doubt yourself. You think, well, am I really good enough to do this? Maybe my voice isn't right. Or, maybe this whole VO thing is just a bad idea. None of those things are true, but it's because you're sending out these emails and this demo too early in the grand scheme of things. Let me break it down like this. It's not a talent problem. It's a timing problem. The timing at which you send out your demo to people is key to this whole thing. So that one mistake can snowball into your confidence dropping, your motivation slips, your practice starts to wane because you feel like you aren't even ready for this yet, and your momentum dies. And that right there is why a lot of new voice actors really just don't make it past the first few months, because they think they're ready when they're not even close. It's not because you're not capable, it's because you've unknowingly shot yourself in the foot before the game has even started and you've ruined that first impression. Okay, so your next question is probably, all right, so when can I market myself? And the simple answer is you can start to mass market yourself after you've had plenty of coaching and a professional demo created so that you can then showcase your best first impression. Another answer would be you can start marketing yourself when your work is reliable. Not perfect, nobody's ever perfect, but across, performance and recording quality and editing, once you have all those, skill sets in place, then you are ready with a demo to go out and start knocking on those digital doors and seeing if people will add you to their rosters or whoever you're reaching out to. So once you're consistent, once you have the editing chops down, the sound quality is dialed in, your professional demos in place, and you have a good website, once you have those things in place, then that's when you can start going out and reaching for the stars and finding all the different opportunities out there that fits your ambition and skill set. Think of a DIY demo as a rough draft. And let's use a college analogy, right? You wouldn't send in a paper that was just a rough draft and just tell the professor, yeah, this is pretty much what I would write, but here's just the draft and you can take that and grade it, right? That's not going to work. You wait until you have the fully baked idea and everything put together in the paper, then you turn it in and hopefully you get your A. Okay, one more thing I want to mention, and this is something that should be common sense, but a lot of times it's not. And that is, as you're leading up to your professional demo, make sure that you are getting plenty of coaching and training leading up to that. And if you're working with a producer, which for a pro demo you should be, they will assess your skill set before you actually record. And the reason why is that because I could go out and drag anyone off the street and give them a bunch of line reads, repeat after me kind of thing, and we could probably put together a decent demo. But here's where the problem is, and that is when you send out a demo, a pro demo, unless you have the skills to pay the bills to back it up every time you get hired on the strength of that demo, then it's worthless, because you need to be able to deliver the goods day in and day out based on the strength of that demo, because your producer is not going to be there every single time you get booked. You're probably watching this and you're like, yes, that's okay. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make that mistake. Well, what other mistakes should I also avoid? And that is where I have a free resource for you. It is a free video and a companion PDF called The Top 5 Mistakes That Most New Voice Actors Make and How to Avoid Them. So if you want to click on the link in the description and pin comment below, you can download that video and that companion PDF and use that to make sure that you do avoid some of these mistakes that a lot of new voice actors make. Look, voiceover is one of the most accessible careers out there, but that accessibility can lead to a trap. Because just because you can start tomorrow doesn't mean you should start marketing yourself tomorrow. There are definitely steps you need to take in the right order before you go out and do your direct marketing. So take time to build yourself into something that clients are excited to hire. Then you can go out and start doing your mass marketing. You don't need luck. You don't need fancy Hollywood connections. You just need the right foundation and the patience to build on it. Let me know down in the comments if this has helped you. Are you struggling to kind of get your voiceover career off the ground because all you have is a DIY demo? Or do you know the next steps to take moving towards a pro demo? Let me know down below. And of course, feel free to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can get these videos when they drop. That is the best way to help our channel. Now, I mentioned a little earlier how there were some instances that you can get work without a demo at all. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, then check out this.